kind of hard to hear him. Do not ask for Doliprane. Little comprehension problem here. Salut tout le monde! Aujourd'hui, je vais analyser l'anglais de Squeezie.
Aujourd'hui, vous êtes plus de 18 millions à le suivre sur YouTube.
Je vous avoue que je connais pas très bien Squeezie, mais il y avait énormément de personnes qui m'avaient demandé d'analyser son anglais. Donc, pourquoi pas? Comme d'habitude, à la fin, il y aura une note sur 20. C'est parti! So, apparently this is the podcast that has Squeezie speaking English in it, like the only one on the internet. And he's on a podcast with these two young men. I don't know who they are, but they appear to be kind of well known. It's a 1 hour conversation. Let's get started.
We have an incredible guest today.
Incredible.
I don't know if you're going to hate the way I describe you. The Mr. Beast / PewDiePie of France himself.
French people will like, they know both of them. So
yeah.
I think they will appreciate that.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, it's that.
Squeezie.
He seems to be doing quite well so far. Of course, I heard like a pretty classic French accent. I heard him say they know.
They know.
Or they will be happy with that.
I think they will appreciate that.
So this classic like the pronunciation instead of the. Let's continue.
Squeezie. Am I saying it right?
Yeah, Squeezie.
Okay.
It came from like the Squeeze It song from DJ Tiesto.
Squeezie.
Oh, that's what it is?
Yeah,
That's where
yeah.
the name comes from?
Yeah, I had 12 years old, no inspiration at all.
Really?
And I mixed Squeeze It and it became Squeezie.
Wow.
Okay.
Is it a French word?
No.
Oh.
Squeeze It like in English.
Oh, like squeeze it?
Yeah.
Ah, okay,
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I like
All right, cool. So he's just explained the origins of his name or his YouTube handle, Squeezie. His name comes from squeeze it, but because of his really typical French accent, he said squeeze it.
Squeeze It.
So he's got this E instead of E. And yeah, it's a bless him. Then Austin asks, oh,
Is it a French word?
so even though Squeezie has explained that it's an English word that comes from this English song, Austin has still not understood that. And then Squeezie reiterates one more time.
No.
Oh.
Squeeze It like in English.
And then Austin says, ah,
Oh, like squeeze it?
Yeah.
squeeze it. Little comprehension problem here. You might have also heard Squeezie talk about how old he was when he came up with this magnificent username.
I had 12 years old.
And you may know that in English we use the verb to be when we talk about our age. So for example, he should have said, I was 12 years old at the time.
Sorry, I have to tell you,
Please.
this is the first time, like, because I think French people will see this.
Yes.
And this is the first time they see me speak English ever.
Really?
I hope they don't
Yeah.
hate you for it.
Okay, but look, I think he's doing really well. But yeah, there's probably maybe a little bit of maybe not stress. I don't know, but you know, just he's obviously there's a reason why he maybe felt the need to say that. No worries, that's fine.
I love Paris. I think Paris is very nice. I think it's very beautiful. But this time, my experience has not been so great.
Yes, Hassan has broken his rib. I'm going to probably cut that long story out.
But with the broken rib, we still did a meet and greet.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
still
So you
did
came
it.
back after
Yes.
that to...
Yeah, I was
Wow.
like, and I've just been eating a lot of this paracetamol.
Thing, Doliprane.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
this in US?
No.
We call it Advil or Tylenol.
No, this is
Okay.
this
Okay.
is Doliprane.
If you are in an English-speaking country, do not ask for Doliprane. The best option would be, I guess, just ask for painkillers or pain medication. If you know the type of medication you want, then for sure you can ask for paracetamol or ibuprofen. But Doliprane is French, and if you don't want to be in pain for much longer, maybe ask for something else.
So
but-
you didn't do the X-rays?
No.
So
Yeah.
how do you know it's broken or just,
Well-
you know how we say it, fissuré?
He just like
Fractured.
he just like touched it.
So now I think we kind of seeing Squeezie maybe coming to like maybe the limits of his vocabulary here, but that's fine because he obviously is very comfortable to ask. For example, he said,
How we say it, fissuré.
but actually it seems like he finds it himself anyway. He says here, fractured. But the way he asked this actually, he said,
How we say it.
and of course in French we would often use comment dit, which it can be a collective, like a replacement for nous, but actually we would use the pronoun you, and it's not you, like how do you say, but it's like a general you. Yeah, for example, here it would be better to say, how do you say fissuré in English?
Have you broken a bone?
Never.
Really?
I've never broken a bone
yes,
either.
one little bone in
Your
here.
hand?
Yeah.
So what was the process? Did you go to the hospital?
I was at ski.
Oh, okay.
So I just went to X-rays. They told me, oh, it's broken.
He talks about a little bone in his hand. And I find this topic so interesting because, of course, in English we have two words for petit. We have small and little. So we use small for size. We want to quantify the size of something, we would use small. I would call this a small bone. We use little for amounts, maybe a little bit of water, or I just have a little, I have little money. Of course, we also use it sometimes for age, to talk about my little brother, my little sister. But we also use it sometimes just to add like a little bit of sass or a little bit of emotion sometimes. For example, I could say like, oh, look at that little dog. Or look at my little jacket. Oh, ma petite veste. Like it's not actually little, it's just, I just think it's a little bit cool. Squeezie also said that he was
At ski?
I guess if you want to use at here, he could say I was maybe at a ski resort. I was skiing. Or I was on a skiing trip. I was on a skiing holiday. But I think the best one is I was skiing.
Did you have to go to like emergency room and then they do the X-ray?
Yeah, that's it.
So no mobile X-ray.
No more what?
No mobile.
Like,
No.
Was there a lady in the background that told him what he said? The two guys, they have been joking a little bit already about a mobile X-ray, like a doctor that just comes to your house and X-rays you, which obviously is not a thing. Austin, he says,
so no mobile X-ray.
just making a joke, referring back to something that they've been talking about, and Squeezie doesn't really pick up on this.
No more what?
But these guys are not really making much of an effort to grade their language. And that's really great because it's a really authentic conversation, but it does give us a bit of an insight into Squeezie's true level. So he is able to follow the main idea of this conversation really well. But there are little things I can see kind of in his eyes, you know, we've all been there, where you're like, yeah, okay. But you don't really grasp maybe the cultural references or something like that. But again, he's really doing a great job at telling his story.
What do you think about our food? Honestly, I'm curious.
It depends. Like if I want to eat like huge things, it's like cool. If I want a burger, basically, I know it's cliche, but it's like cool because you have many fast food we don't have here.
Yeah.
So like In and Out, things like that. The most shocking thing for me was fruits and vegetables.
Classic topic, American food. Squeezie starts off, I guess he's trying to be polite. Maybe he says it depends.
It depends.
Careful here, we want to add an S. It depends. And he talks about fast food restaurants. He says you have many fast food.
You have many fast food we don't have.
So careful here, fast food, like en fast food, I know in French is the restaurant, but in English, fast food, it's just the food itself. And the places, they are fast food restaurants. And last little pronunciation slip, maybe some of you heard it as well, was our famous word here, vegetables.
Vegetables.
So we do not say vegetables, we would say here vegetables. 3 syllables, the same as comfortable as well. We would say comfortable and vegetables.
Yeah, but it's kind of difficult for French people to speak another language.
True, but no, I get. But he spoke.
Even if they know how to speak,
I see.
It's like see as a shame for us to speak English in front of each other's.
But
like, I really feel that.
Many French people that we've met are delightful.
We can't avoid this topic, can we? Like it's always being brought up that there's something stopping French people from speaking not just English but other languages in front of each other. Interestingly now, I'm looking through the comments and most of the comments, they're super positive. En vrai, son anglais, ça va. C'est vrai, ça va. Squeezie's English skills are really mocked, but I think he's pretty good. Me too, he's great. Choqué par le level en anglais. Wow. But I find that quite interesting, right? That these comments are really positive, which I love. But if we compare those two, if you've seen my analysis of Hugo's English from Hugo Décrypte, he had quite a lot of negative comments. Son accent est bizarre et fatigant. Accent éclaté. Non mais c'est méchant. And that's interesting because, look, Squeezie's doing really well, but he clearly doesn't have a level anywhere near that of Hugo's, who has an English father. He's really close to sounding like a native speaker. Isn't that so interesting? Is it because Squeezie is actually kind of a beloved personality on YouTube, so he has a lot of fans who are going to support him? Or is it that because his level's not as high, people are more willing to sort of bring him up, and whereas Hugo's got a really good level, so people are more willing to bring him down. Isn't YouTube a funny place?
It's like see as a shame for us to speak English in front of each other.
This word is quite tricky in English, actually, because a shame, if something is a shame, it's the same as being a pity. C'est dommage. Oh, that's a shame. I can't come. So the most literal translation, I suppose, that he's looking for maybe would just be to say French people feel ashamed to speak another language in front of each other. I think actually for French speakers, it's much safer. Like even, for example, how Squeezie used a shame here, it's not really correct, but it's completely understandable. But I think for native English speakers going back the other way, we have to be more careful. I was reading a post once in a Facebook group, like for expats in France, and there was a poor woman. She didn't speak French. She admitted that she had sent an email using Google Translate to a store just asking if they had a certain product in stock, and they didn't. And she just replied wanting to say, oh, that's such a shame. But she wrote, quelle honte. How disgraceful that you don't have this product that I'm looking for, which was probably like not that important for native English speakers. Careful with the word honte. It's not a shame, ça c'est dommage.
Give us some stereotypes about Americans. Go.
Yeah, we see them as a lot of fat people, basically.
This is just not even a stereotype.
Not
That's
a stereotype.
true.
We are second obese country in the world.
Like qu'est-ce qu'on a comme big stereotype? Oh yeah, things about guns.
Oh,
like
yes.
American, they have
Okay,
guns.
that's also not a stereotype, just true.
Okay.
Also like guns.
All right, so Squeezie's listing off a bunch of stereotypes here. He's doing really well. Maybe, look, it's been an hour now, so he definitely might have some of that fatigue setting in. You can see here he just straight up said a whole sentence in French, but it's okay. I can see he's got his team helping him as well.
We have a meme in America. It's called Kyle.
Okay.
We call it a Kyle. He punches through the drywall when he gets angry. He drinks White Monster.
Okay.
He drinks White Monster energy drinks, and he punches drywalls.
There was a white monster?
Yeah, it's a Monster energy drink, but it's white. It's sugar-free.
Okay.
And Kyles love drinking that.
Okay.
And then they love punching drywall.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, this is maybe another good example here of how difficult I think comprehension can be in this kind of situation. These two guys, they're sort of having a very natural conversation between native speakers, and there are obviously going to be some things that are difficult for Squeezie to understand. So here, I think that Hassan's doing a good job of sort of helping Squeezie to understand. He's making gestures to show a White Monster energy drink. But he's definitely, he's not really pronouncing his words well. He's called it like a White Monster energy drink. It's kind of hard to hear him. And then Squeezie asks,
There was a white monster?
right? So obviously he's not fully understood. Again, really understandable. But it gives us a good idea maybe just of some issues that maybe he has with comprehension. On an advanced level, these guys are really speaking quickly, they're speaking really naturally, and they're using natural expressions. And he's talking about a random meme that's very culturally specific as well.
But before we leave you guys, I wanted to ask, is there anything you would like to promote? Where can people find you?
Yes, please.
Nothing at all, guys. I just enjoy this moment with you.
All right, so it's kind of the end of the video. Squeezie said here that he enjoyed this moment.
Enjoy this moment with you.
Il a passé un bon moment. While this is completely fine, very understandable. In English, we usually say that we had a good time. I enjoyed this moment. You can just say, I enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed myself with you guys. You didn't pass a moment. You had a good time. So that's the end of this extremely long podcast. Time for my grade. What did I think in general of Squeezie's English? He was able to express himself really well. We could see he clearly had some vocabulary that was missing. That was fine. He still explained himself really well. And some grammar as well. I could see a lot of French interference. And his pronunciation. He definitely has a classic French accent. Very easy for native English speakers to understand, so that's not a problem. For example, we heard a lot of this and I think, X-ray, like à la française for X-ray, but it's very easy to follow what he's saying. Hats off to Squeezie. I think he really did a great job. This is basically the most difficult situation you could be put in. This is completely unscripted. It seems like they haven't really prepared that much in advance. He doesn't know what he's going to be talking about. He's being put on the spot. This video doesn't even appear to be cut, so we see him searching for his words. We see when he's not quite sure of what he wants to say. And also just he's one of the most popular YouTubers to just go on YouTube and speak English. Yeah, I mean, he knows that a lot of people are going to see it and a lot of people have their opinions. So good on him for just going on there and telling Americans that they're fat. I'm joking, but he did say that. I didn't say that. All right, what's my grade? Based off of not just his production, but also clearly what we can see here is his comprehension. I think that Squeezie has a really high B1 level, maybe even into a lower B2 level, and I would give him a 13 out of 20. That's the end of our analysis for today. Let me know if you agree or disagree. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And as always, if you would like to see a summary of all of the comments I've made today, you can download a free PDF from the description. It's free. I don't know why you wouldn't download it. I've made it for you. I'm offended if you don't download it. If there's anyone else whose English you'd like me to analyze, please let me know in the comments. I'll see you again soon. Bye.